YouTube channel. Today I'm going to explain some of the common PHP array functions and going to give some examples of that. So hopefully you have PHP compiler installed. If not, you can jump into the homebrew formula and install that brew install PHP, and I suggest installing the latest version of PHP 8.3 and stick to that throughout the tutorial if you like it. So as you can see, I have created a folder and the file which is index.php, and I created the PHP tag opening and the closing. So I'm going to use some of the examples in array, and then I'm going to use the PHP array functions. So today's topic will be on array filter and array map mostly. And now let's start with an example array that I already created for you. So let me explain that. As you can see, this is the users array. As you know, PHP have three array, which is the index array, having the associative array and also the two-dimensional array. Now you can see this is an associative array, and you can see this is the name, John, age, 24, skills, PHP MySQL, and it is quite clear that this is an array of the developers having age and the skills. So based on that, let's say in real world example, we need to filter out many data from our side. So let's start with the finding some PHP developers from this skill set of this users array. So let's start with the array filter function. As you can see, PHP is a very commonly used function programming language, so the scripting type. So we are gonna use the array filter, and let's start with array filter. Array filter takes two parameters. One is the source array, another one is the callback function. Now as a source array, I'm going to use this users, and for the callback function, I'm going to use this function instant here. Let's say I start with writing the function, and inside the parameter I pass the user row, and then opening and closing this entire array filter function. Now what we need to do is we need to check whether this PHP value exists on to this users array on each row, and which row having the PHP value inside the skills array, they are going to be returned, and other will be not returned. So as you can see, this last row will not be returned. So let's say do one thing, type the return, because array filter returns an array, and we're gonna do this same exact array return, but we need to find the value inside of this skills array. Remember, skills is another array which is basically index array inside of the associative array. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use another function which is called array in array. So in array basically takes two parameters. One is the value of having this PHP, which we are into looking for the reference value, and this is the source array. Source not array. It is going to look into source array, which is user of skills. Let's say type in skills, and then in array it will look into for the skills array of each row of users one by one, and it will going to push the value into the PHP devs. So now we need to show the exact data that we are going to get after this. So what I'm going to do one thing, echo, and do this pre technique. I guess with all the developers in PHP, we know this trick, and then I'm gonna use this print _r and then PHP devs. So, and before that, I need to serve this into the PHP compiler. So let me just open that terminal and do this. Right, PHP -localhost -s localhost -9000. So enter it, and then you can see this has been started. If you don't have any error into your compiler and PHP installation, you should be fine. Now I'm going to open that from my browser. Hopefully you could see what the exactly output. We should see these two row, not that the third one, because third one having JavaScript and Python. So let's open that, create a new tab, and open this. Okay, so probably it is having this issue because let's just type in HTTP, not S. Yep. So you can see array name, age, skills, which is John, Jane, but not the third one, Bob. I guess you guys are clear. I'm going to recap after explaining the array map, which I'm going to explain later. So now start with the array map. So array map is going to be used where sometimes we need to modify the value and show the some modified manipulated array. So let's say we need to find the array by map the array and return skill count and experience level with skill count and experience level. So experience level based on age. Okay, so if age greater equal 30, then we're gonna consider as a senior. Okay, so these two condition, I mean this one condition we're gonna use, but let's say skills by age variable, and then what we see, we're gonna use the array map. Array map also takes two parameter, one is the callback first and this array. So first I'm gonna write the callback function inside here, not going to name a different function here. So let's put this array and open this and close this. Okay, and then at the end we need to also pass the users and close this. Okay, so it takes two parameter, one is the callback function, another one is the user source array. And now I'm going to do one thing, return the modified value. So in this return, as you can see, I have taken an array, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to define a key one by one, which I'm about to do. And this is the name, and what I need to do, I'm not going to change anything for the name, so it is leaving as it is. And then, sorry, it should be the comma, not the semicolon, and then it should be the skill count. And how I'm gonna do the skill count, just quite simple. PHP have a count function which basically count the array, because we can easily pass the skills key, right? And then comma, and we are going to do another ternary operation inside that function. Yep, skills key. And then we're gonna do what? We're gonna do the senior and junior check. So let's say we name this key anything, just exp level, and then what I'm gonna write is the logic. So let's say user of age having the age greater than 30, or let's just say equal 30. Then we're gonna show the string senior into this key, or we're gonna show junior. So is it what going to return? Just save it for once to align this. I have a formatter installed that it does the job for me. So you can see, if the age is greater or equal 30, it is going to print the senior into this key, and else it would show the junior. Now the big question is, for array map, it entirely returns a different reference of keys, because I have defined name, skill count, and experience level. Because we had this name, age, and skills, those three keys will not exist in here unless I refer those explicitly here. So let's just print those into the browser. Okay, so now if I reload and go back to the browser, it should print this 3 rows of data. Okay, let me do one thing. I forgot to change the variable name into this printer, so let's just reload. Yep, you can see you have these 3 rows of data and having this name John, skill count 2, and this experience level junior. Only one senior is Jane, because Jane having the age greater equal 30, I mean like she has 30, so that's why she has been considered has been the senior one guy. So from our tutorial today, we have gone through 2 core things in PHP. One is the finding some values based on some reference value, from an array, and also we can manipulate the array by using array map according to our logic. So these two are vital. We use this every day in our code, every day into the projects, softwares, everywhere. So wait for the next video and keep learning. Thank you.